Have you ever wondered how much your heart rate actually drops as you lose weight? Look, this is what happens inside your body when the pounds come off and how it changes your running pace. Look, I know because this is my full experiment and this is what I did. When you're carrying extra weight, your heart has to work harder to push oxygen to every muscle in your body. And that means higher heart rate, higher effort, and slower pace, even if your fitness is solid. Weight has a big effect, but as your weight drops, your cardiovascular system adapts pretty fast. Look, I'll show you exactly how many beats per minute you can expect to lose, how much faster you will run as your body composition changes. Hey, my name's David. I'm the plant-powered runner, and I've been using the Maffetone method, aka Zone 2 training, for many years. And I've done a lot of experiments and tests and run marathons, half marathons, and even an ultra marathon. So I kind of know what it's like to also be a heavier runner, losing the weight to get faster. And I did a lot of experiments over the last number of years. So I'm sharing this with you to kind of give you an inner look to see what you can expect. Now, this was a good question that I had, but I didn't know anybody who could answer it for me. So I started to look online and I still couldn't find the answer. So I decided to just do my own experiment and to see what would happen as I lost weight to get faster. And look, this is really, it's super relative for anyone using heart rate to track your aerobic progress while losing weight. So with a current baseline, let's say weight of 225 pounds or 102 kilograms, if you're running, let's say 10K, pace was 735 per kilometer. And my average heart rate, let's say, was 142. And look, that's a solid aerobic run for somebody who's kind of heavier. And, I've been running out what was my kind of like my Maffetone training, my upper end Zone 2 ceiling, which is, probably pretty good for fat burning efficiency and endurance building. So the physiology behind heart rate drop with weight loss is something that I think is important for anyone looking to use heart rate training for exercise. And it's primarily going to be driven by how hard the body needs to work to deliver oxygen to your muscles. And the heavier you are, the more muscle mass and fat mass your heart needs to support. And the more effort required to move your body through space. So when you lose fat and a bit of water weight, your cardiovascular system becomes more efficient because lower body mass equals less mechanical effort per step. Look, you're going to be pushing less weight off of the ground, so your heart rate doesn't need to spike as much for the same pace. Mitochondria and capillary density improves as you're training aerobically. Combined with less fat mass, this means less oxygen demand per kilometer or mile for my friends in the US. So if you're estimating what the drop's going to look like, this is kind of how I think about it. Now, there's no exact 1 pound equals X beats per minute rule, but based on both, my experiences while training for an ultramarathon and information that I've been able to find on the internet, here's a realistic range that you may also experience. Now, there's a caveat. However, everybody is different and no two runners are the same. So you may also want to take a look at what your eating habits are like, because at some point it may cause you some problems. So here's a weight loss estimator for heart rate drop at the same pace. So 5 pounds or 2.3 kilograms would equal about 1 to 2 beats per minute. 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms could be 3 to 4 beats per minute. And 20 pounds, 9 kilograms is 6 to 8 beats. 40 pounds, 18 kilograms would be about 10 to 15 beats. So if you drop from 225 like I did to 195, you could expect to see an average heart rate at the same pace fall from 142 beats a minute to about 127 to 132 beats a minute, assuming you maintain your aerobic conditioning that you're currently working with now. And that's like 3 to 4 runs per week. But here's the kicker. As your heart rate drops, that same 142 beats a minute in the future will correspond, hear me on this, will correspond to a much faster pace. So at 185 pounds, at the same heart rate, you could be running closer to 645 to 655 per kilometer at 142 beats a minute, depending on the terrain and the weather and your eating habits. There's a number of those things. But that's roughly about 40 to 60 seconds per kilometer faster from weight loss and improved efficiency without any change in your training load, let's say. Now again, this is what it would be in miles. Weight loss improves heart rate response indirectly through reduced energy demand and improved cardiovascular efficiency. The fitter and lighter you get, the lower your heart rate will and can be at the same pace, and the faster you'll be able to run at the same heart rate. That's why I like Zone 2 and the Maffetone method. It works extremely well. Now, what I would recommend in terms of tracking would be to, let's say, to like really see it happen. What I would suggest is record your weight, your average heart rate, and the pace weekly for all of your aerobic runs. Every 4 to 6 weeks, do a MAF test, same route, heart rate cap it at 140 beats a minute, and track your pace. Watch the pace improve, and this will show the real world effects of your fitness and weight loss combined. So this is what a 6-month heart rate pace projection could look like. Mine, I'll show you at the end of the video what mine looked like. But monthly weight loss, average heart rate, the same 135 pace, estimated heart rate 142. So starting off at 225 with 142 beats a minute at 735 per kilometer. That's my current baseline. After 1 week, let's say you're at 118 with a heart rate of 140, 725. Look, it's early cardiovascular adaptation. Second month could look like 210 with 138 beats a minute, 710 per kilometer, noticeably less effort. Breathing is more steadier. 3 months could look like 102 pounds, 135 beats a minute, 658 per kilometer, more efficient stride, improved recovery. 4th month could look like 195 beats a minute, 195 pounds, 132 beats a minute. That's 645 per kilometer, which is stronger aerobic base forming right there. 5 month could be 190 pounds, 130 beats a minute, so that's 635 per kilometer. The heart rate drop plateaus slightly. After 6 months, you're at 185 beats a minute, 185 pounds, between 128 and 130 beats a minute, 625 to 630 kilometer pace. That's 60 to 70 seconds faster per kilometer at the same heart rate. And look how it translates after 6 months of using this method of running slow, of building that base, but continuously losing the weight. You'll be able to run the same aerobic effort at 10K in 63 to 65 minutes instead of the 76 minutes. Your heart rate will drop 12 to 14 beats at the same pace, or you'll hold the same 142 beats a minute and run roughly 1 minute per kilometer faster. And look, you'll feel lighter on your feet, you'll recover faster, and your Zone 2 training will shift downwards, meaning better aerobic efficiency. So look, what makes this projection realistic? Look, some assumptions here. Number one is you maintain your Zone 2 discipline, okay? Mostly under 145 beats a minute. Something else? You'll do 2 strength training sessions per week to protect lean body mass. You're fueling properly, especially taking in protein, and you will also have to keep your weekly mileage between 40 to 60 kilometer range, and this is what it would be in miles. And look, you gradually want to add volume as you continue. Now here's the cool part. Once you reach that 185 pound range, your aerobic ceiling, your maffetone pace, will likely be around 615 to 625 per kilometer. That's a fantastic improvement. And this is what it would be in miles. I look at it like this. It might be something like elite zone 2 efficiency for my age group. I always want you to be a critical thinker. So don't take my word for it. I want you to try it for yourself. And comment below and let me know what your experiences are. What happened for you? Because we're all different. So like I always say, get out and run. I'm trying to get to the summit before the sunrise, but I'm so out of shape. It's hard to run this section. Come on. This is the best place to see the sunrise. Sometimes you just gotta get up early and watch the sun rise. Some people like to sleep in. Me, I like to get up when it's early, and this is just beginning. It's run time, baby. I've been waiting for this, doing a time lapse for probably a good half an hour. So I think it's time to get out and do some miles. When you wake up in the morning, you've got a decision to make. Do you strap on the shoes or don't you? Do you reach for the coffee? Don't you? How about your phone? Do you reach for your phone? Sometimes comfort is easier than putting in the miles. Sometimes it's a good thing after a long run. It's a rest day. But there are days where you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna wanna run. But what's the alternative? What kind of life do you wanna live? How do you wanna feel? Nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna go, hey Dave, get out and go do that run. Unless you got a wife like me, kicks me out of bed and says, get out and run, Dave. That's what you tell everybody else. Why aren't you doing it? Fair point. Sometimes you just got to make it a priority. Yes, we all got to work. Yes, we all have 168 hours in a week. How are you going to utilize them? It's up to you. I'm far from perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I procrastinate a lot. Yes, I've gained weight. And yes, my mental health has been a mess for a little while. However, the trail is always here, just waiting for you to lace up those shoes, put your feet down on the ground, enjoy the sunset, enjoy the sunrise, and like always, get out and run.